jackknife, the pile of unanswered letters, remember? They're transfixed to the mantelpiece of the first floor room in Baker Street, a room haunted by memories of the 1890s, heavy with the fumes of tobacco from a shop no man has ever seen. Black shag is stored in the Persian slipper. The 7% cocaine solution is another vital clue, and if you're still in doubt, consider the case history of the violin. The address is 221B Baker Street, where live the shades of Dr. Watson and the man who solved the code of the dancing men, Sherlock Holmes. On the desk of Conan Doyle, his creator, stands a likeness of the one woman in the detective's life, Irene Adler. It was she who outwitted him. The scandal in Bohemia, remember? The bullet hole pattern shot by Holmes in the wall is but one of 1,000 details of this lifelike reproduction of the great detective's sitting room. Not an object is included which could not be referred to by a quotation from his casebook. Top hat and deerstalker, stethoscope, cape, the skin of a swamp adder with its clue, the speckled band. The crop used in the case of identity. Chemical corner with every detail in period according to the research of a professor from Bedford College. And in front of the window, the lifelike bust placed there by Holmes as a trap for Colonel Moran. Remember that air gun which fired from the first floor window across the way? To decide where that murderous bullet hit the wall, the advice of ballistics expert Major Pollard was sought. It's a triumph of reconstruction by Michael Waite, a world of the 90s where the aroma of black shag and the shadows cast by a Victorian oil lamp bring the ghost of Sherlock Holmes strangely, strangely to life. Up in the Shetlands, wild ponies still enjoy the freedom of the island ranges. Until Roundup Day, that is, when farmers on foot rope in the sturdy, mettlesome creatures for the annual sale. Swift of foot, unused to human voices in the feel of the halter, the ponies take a lot of catching. Dear old pals, they'll stick together whatever happens. The annual cattle sale on the Isle of Yell is an event which attracts farmers and dealers from all the smaller islands. And this is where the wild ponies go up for auction, fetching the good prices which good workers always will. Bulls and milkers too come under the critical eye of the would-be buyer. The crofter who brings his bull to the sale, perhaps miles by sea from another island, must make a deal today or wait another year. Going, going, gone. It's a sale, and by tradition, it's cash on the nail. To establish ownership, the buyer clips his mark with scissors on the bull's hide. Each farmer has his own distinctive mark, a necessary step where cattle from a dozen small farms may share the free grassland. The sale's over. The crofter goes home. Maybe next year he'll drive a better bargain still. The Danube may be blue, but the Thames at Blackfriars Bridge is an unromantic brown. Brown with the thick, oozing mud which banks up the shore whenever the tide recedes. And it's these two brothers' job to push it back, otherwise heavily laden barges would sink at low water. Officially called foreshoremen, James and Reg Kendall are nicknamed looters after the tool they use. Beneath the surface of the river, mud collects in places often 6 feet deep and yields the secrets of centuries, sometimes coins, sometimes grimmer things. Since the mud is treacherous as quicksand, looters usually work in pairs. There's danger in every yard for those who daily clean up after old Father Thames. This is the department of a Cricklewood factory where men make light by hand. And these are church candles in the rough, wicks of twisted cotton, the heart of a candle. Skilled chandlers vary their craft in no way from the methods first used by the earliest monks. Ladles of molten wax are poured down the wick, depositing an ever-thickening film until the candle is built up to the required dimension. Ingredients, too, have undergone no change since the Church of Rome first decreed that candlelight should be nourished by the melting wax which the parent bee produces. Today, the content of beeswax for altar candles must be at least 65%. Depending on the size, one candle may take several days to make. Only a handful of chandlers remain skilled in the craft. While it is still warm and malleable, the stick is rolled even, polished and cut to length. Here's how the chandler makes a second candle while shaping the first. With 99 out of every 100 candles made here reserved for church use, there's still a demand for the ornatic clusters, which dignify many a dinner table in old country houses. Besides their aesthetic appeal, candles like these are popular for reasons of health, many people still preferring their gentler light to read by. Artists apply the final embellishments to church candles that traditionally symbolize the true light which dispels the darkness of the world. Boys today, miners tomorrow. Meet some of the young recruits for Britain's most vital job. They're schoolboys whose blackboard is the coal face, and this is their schoolhouse. Once an empty, derelict house, now a model pit where, yes, you go up the stairs to go down the mine. It's the Aberystwyth training mine in South Wales. Each floor of the 3-story building has a different lesson to teach. On the mezzanine, we join the pit propping class. The ground floor features 4 arched roadways exactly duplicating the tunnels to a real coalface. On the floor above, you find the coalface proper. Just a concrete wall painted black, but it serves to demonstrate the world's only above-ground coal cutter in action. Something else every miner has to know: how to build a pack to support the roof. Going up, first floor, shaker conveyor and belt conveyors. Coal, the real stuff this time, and nothing make-believe about that dirty face. Other kids may take their schooling in other ways, but geometry never gave you an appetite like that. To serve, to strive, and not to yield, with service and good comradeship ranking first. Against a background of tarn and fells, of water and sky, a simple creed is taught by the outward bound school at Eskdale in Cumberland. It is the creed of self-reliant manhood. How to paddle his own canoe. That's the immediate lesson he's learning. But something more than a knowledge of canoes is seeping into him. He's one of many hundreds of youngsters who put city streets behind them for a 4 weeks course and discover for themselves the value of teamwork. Today it's canoes. Tomorrow it may be mountains. 4 weeks of simple natural hazards by way of which a boy finds manliness. "11-year-old David and 9-year-old John Hume are 2 very lucky boys. They're seeing what most boys only dream about. Captain Kidd's solid gold watch, for example. It's but one small part of real treasure trove. The collection of the late Mr. Hubert Palmer, solicitor of Granville Road, Eastbourne, left at his death to his housekeeper, Mrs. Elizabeth Dick. It's got everything, including pieces of 8. This is a special one, a split coin for carrying secret messages. And now the pièce de résistance, the original treasure chest of Captain Kidd, which raises the inevitable question, what's inside? Aha, pistols. This one belonged to another bold buccaneer, ruthless too. The notches represent the victims killed and the name, Calico Jack, the desperado who did the killing. In 1697, Captain Kidd received the King's commission to arrest pirates, went out to Madagascar and promptly joined them. It is a profitable undertaking, and the captain believed in safeguarding what he'd taken such pains to collect, hence the elaborate lock. After his arrest, about £14,000 worth of treasure was recovered from his ship, the Adventure Galley. But it must have taken an awful lot of getting away. And now another treasure chest. It opens and reveals a fascinating hoard. A skull affixed to a Bible, and a piece of the very flag that helped send the captain to the gallows. In a secret drawer discovered by Mr. Palmer, an authentic map to a treasure island in the China Seas. Pity it's upside down. There's no end to the wondrous and exciting things now in Mrs. Dick's possession, including a portrait of Captain Kidd as a boy. Many another boy of that tender age would give his years to own a real pirate's chest and a house full of dreams come true.